After several decades of Somali refugees living in camps, yesterday's signing of a tripartite agreement between UNHCR, the Kenya and Somali governments set the ball rolling for the hundreds of thousands of refugees who hope to go back to their country and rebuild their lives as stability slowly creeps back into the country ravaged by civil war. The contents of the agreement, backed by international community, included a harmonized 3-year action plan on repatriation and reintegration of over 500,000 refugees. However, according to UNHCR representative and spokesperson for the East and Horn of Africa and the Great Lakes region, Kitty Mckinsey, the voluntary repatriation exercise could take longer than anticipated as the logistics are worked out.
Time comes for us to organize the returns. A voluntary return means that the refugee needs to be well informed. They need to sign a form saying that they are returning voluntarily. We need to be sure that they're voluntarily returning. So we actually interview them to make sure that nobody's putting pressure on them. For example, that a community leader is not putting pressure on a lot of refugees, that a father's not putting pressure on his daughters, that a husband's not putting pressure on the wife. And then we do organize buses to take the refugees home, trucks to take home their possessions. We give them what they need to set up their homes again, to set up their lives again in their home country. But honestly, this is a long way away. This is not what we're talking about at this point.
At the same time, she said the exercise, which is strictly on a voluntary basis, requires to be undertaken with dignity. Even as she pointed out, already there is a program underway to assist those willing to go back on their own.
So there are many places that the Somalis feel safe to go, that people with a face like mine would not be welcome. So we are working through partners to help them there. We give them money to help establish their livelihoods. We give them transportation through partners who work there. And this is what we have been doing for the internally displaced people who are going home, and this will be the model for the refugees who go home. So what we're doing now, the phase we're at now, is helping the refugees who are deciding on their own to go home. And in the future, we will be organizing these returns. But I really want to stress we are not at the point of organizing these returns. I also want to stress no Somali refugee is going to be forced to go home. So any reporting that you have seen that implies that the buses and trucks are lined up today or tomorrow to take people home is just premature.
Kenya currently hosts 610,000 documented refugees. 520,000 of these are Somalis living in designated refugee camps and various urban areas around the country. It is estimated that another 500,000 undocumented refugees reside in Kenya. The largest refugee camp in Kenya is the Dab Refugee Complex, designed to hold a maximum of 90,000 people. Brenda Kiprono, reporting for Channel 1 News Hour.